want to quickly divert away from this card. I just want to talk about Kell Brook. Obviously, late last week there was the newspapers and Sky Sports themselves released an article saying that talks, the negotiations were starting, quotes by yourself. I spoke to Taz Khan, the manager of Amir Khan. He said nothing had been done. I think Amir on Saturday did say that there had been no negotiations as well. What's your take on that? Where are we at this present time in regards to talks?
I've never said there's been negotiations, but there's been talks. Spoke to Taz via text, spoke to Taz on the phone probably a week before he said that on Saturday. So, but he's right in what he says in terms of no negotiations. Where are we now? Thursday. On Tuesday, I sent them the projections, financial projections for a show at Wembley on June the 4th, with a view to discuss later this week. I think they're coming to the show, so we'll talk. And I know it generates a huge amount of money, more than either fighter could ever make in any fight that's out there for them and available for them. So hopefully, common sense will tell you it will get made. But I have no idea of their expectations yet. Only the expectations of my fighter.
Okay, I just want to talk to you about Tyson Fury. He's won the title, won the IBF, WBA, but he's been stripped of the IBF title. What did you make of that? Because he's got a rematch with Klitschko, but he's been stripped at the same time.
I make of that standard procedure from the IBF, unfortunately. The IBF, sometimes it's great to be the mandatory challenger with the IBF, but not as great to be the champion. We've got a situation now with the IBF where we're being told we have to fight Kevin Bizier. We'd quite like to rearrange a Diego Chavez fight, but we have to fight Bizier. You have another situation where Carl Frampton against Scott Quigg, the exception has been granted for that fight, a unification, but the winner must fight Shingo Wake within 90 days. Exactly the same as Glazkov. So when Scott Quigg knocks out Carl Frampton, we'll get a letter the next day from the IBF to say, congratulations, don't forget you've got to fight Shingo Wake, please start negotiations.
But there's no waiting period or anything?
No. And what Kathy Duva did was to call a purse bid, and therefore you speed up the process. She did the right thing, of course, for her fighter. But both fighters went into that fight knowing that the winner would have to fight Glazkov. But because they agreed to a rematch clause, then they probably knew they were going to lose the IBF title anyway. So I don't think it's, from a fan's perspective, I can understand people looking at it saying, oh, it's ridiculous, it's this, it's that. But what the IBF have actually done is followed their rules, right or wrong. And that's one thing the IBF do all the time, is follow their rules. It can be very frustrating, particularly as a champion, but not so frustrating when you're the mandatory challenger. The other option is to turn around and to say to Glazkov, you're going to have to wait. But if they're fighting June, Klitschko and Fury, or May, he's not going to fight until December. So how can you turn around to a guy that's earned his mandatory position and say, oh, you have to wait another year? So it's half a one and 50. What is it? Half a one and half a dozen of the other. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That's the one I was after.
So you spoke about Kevin Bizier fight with Kell Brook. Where are you looking? When is that going to happen? Where are you looking for that time?
We've got a negotiation period. They want to do the fight in America. We're happy. No disrespect to Kevin Bizier, but obviously he beat Jojo Dan beat him. So that fight is a tough sell in the UK. So we're happy to travel for the right money to America or Canada. So we're talking to Yvonne Michelle at the moment. Hope to work it out.
Finally, on Kell Brook, he received a lot of criticism on the opponents he's faced. Is 2016 the year that you're on look for the upper echelon of the welterweight?
To be honest, after his injury in 2014, if we would have gone Jojo Dan, the mandatory, Frankie Gavin and Diego Chavez victories, I think would have been reasonably happy with that. Fact is, he got injured, so 2015 wasn't the year that he hoped for. But in 2016, you're going to see, I believe, Amir Khan this summer. I believe that fight will happen. So all will be forgotten.
Finally, just a last message for people who are going to tune in, buy this on Skybox if it's going to be at the arena. What message do you want to give to them?
Just watch the footage from today and get ready for a hell of a night on Saturday night. 7 hours of championship boxing, rivalries, bad blood, world championship fighters, Olympic gold medalists, former world champions. It's just a pure night of boxing. Sit back and enjoy it and watch one of the explosive heavyweight encounters. Real explosive heavyweight encounters. There'll be no hugging and grappling. It'll be pure knockouts.
Right, Eddie, thank you very much for talking to me.
Michelle Joy Phelps, and if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this little icon right here, or else